What's up, punks? We're here with vlog number 2, and this is from a session that I played a couple weeks ago at Parks Casino, Bensalem, Pennsylvania. They're just outside Philadelphia. It's a great card room here on the East Coast. If you're ever out here in Philly, you want to check out the best action in town, go to Parks. A lot of interesting hands in this one, so hopefully you'll like this second vlog. And always remember, hit that like and subscribe buttons. It really helps out the channel a lot. Lets us get out to more people, and helps grow the following. So go ahead, it only takes a second. If you're here, just hit that like and subscribe, and then you'll get alerted every time I put out a new video. All right, let's get to the hands. So for a first playable hand of the night, we look down at Jack 10 of hearts. Under the gun plus 2 limps, folds around to us. We make it 25 on the button. We get the small blind, big blind, and the under the gun to call. So with 100 in the pot, we go to a flop. Flop comes off, Queen of diamonds, 8 of hearts, 4 of hearts. So pretty good flop for us. When it checks around to us, we bet out 45, and only the small blind calls. So with 190 in the pot, we go to a turn card, which is the ace of hearts. Perfect card for us. Front door flush comes in, and when the small blind checks to us, we're thinking, all right, let's see what he's got, see if he's got anything he can continue with. So we size up to 70. And they don't think for very long, and they call. So with 330 in the pot, we go to a river, which is the ace of clubs. So this is a great card for me, I think, because there's not really many combos of boats out there. Maybe ace 4 suited, but there's not that many combos of that. So we're thinking if they floated with an ace on the flop, then they're in a crying call position. So we try to push that value, and we bet 210. And the small blind thinks about it for a minute and ultimately folds. So I think if we would have gone with a smaller bet there, we might have gotten paid, but we were trying to go for max value and didn't work that time. All right, so for this next hand, we are under the gun plus 2. It folds to us, and we look down at 5-7 of spades. And we haven't really played anything in a while, so we figure let's mix it up, and we raise to 20. It folds around to the cutoff. Cutoff calls, button folds, small and big blind fold, and we're off to a flop. That flop comes off queen jack of spades and a 5 of clubs. So with a flush draw and a pair, I think my range is pretty bad here. He called the raise from late position, so I check to him, and he bets out $20. So we make the call. The turn is 5 of hearts, so smashes us. So I'm thinking, let me get some value here. So I check, and he bets $50. So we raise to $250, and the cutoff just flat calls. So at this point, I figure maybe he's got a big pair, maybe he's on a flush draw, but I think if he was on a flush draw, he would probably reshove. Anyway, the river is the inconsequential 4 diamonds. So I try and go for max value here, and I shove for my 1,060. He's only got 320 behind, and he snaps us off and turns over pocket aces. So I gladly turn over my trip 5s, and he is shocked to see that he's not the best. This one worked out for us. We had a great turn card, so we were able to get max value here. Okay, so for this next hand, we look down at ace of diamonds, king of clubs. We're in the small blind, and so we get a limp from the under the gun plus 2, a limp from the low jack, folds around to us. We make it 30, and the big blind and the 2 limpers both call. So we go to a flop 4 ways with 120 in the pot, and the flop comes off ace of clubs, 7 of spades, 5 of spades. So even though we have top here, we check it for pot control and to see if anybody there has a flush draw that they want to bet. So this checks through. So on the turn, we get the ace of hearts. At this point, we're pretty confident that we're definitely good here. So we bet out $35, and only the big blind calls. So we go to a river card, which is the 3 of hearts. At this point, I'm really just trying to get value from maybe another pocket pair, another ace with a lower kicker. So I bet out $80, and he snap folds. So he must have been on a flush draw that he wasn't willing to bet on the flop, and we take this pot down. All right, so the next hand and note that we have is again ace king. This time we have spade and a diamond, and we are under the gun +2. We raise to 20. It folds around to the button. Button 3-bets us to 50. He's only got about 204 behind, so we just flat here, and we'll see a flop and proceed from there. So the flop comes off king of spades, queen of clubs, and 10 of spades. So I check, he shoves for the 204, and to me this seems super weak. So with top and a backdoor draw, I call, and we get the unfortunate news when he turns over pocket queens. So the turn comes off the 8 of spades, so it gives us a sweat, but the river is a 10 of clubs, and he fills up, and we lose this one. Luckily, he was short stack, so we didn't really lose much, but still stings nonetheless. So in this next hand, we look down at pocket jacks. Now I know everybody in the vlog land has their own little nickname for jacks, but if you came up through the punk and hardcore community, there's really only one thing that should come to mind when you see jacks.
They are the moron brothers, don't get along with others.
That's right, pocket jacks I think are the moron brothers from the classic NoFX song, because they really don't get along with others unless they flop a set or something else like that. So anyway, in this hand, I'm under the gun, so I limp with them, hoping to check to limp raise, but we get 2 more limpers, and the blinds come along, and we go to a flop of king of hearts, 10 of hearts, 7 of hearts. So even though I have the jack of hearts here, I'm not really stoked on this hand. I figure the only thing that if I bet that I'm going to get called by is something better. So I check, and it checks through. Turn is a 2 of hearts, so we do make the flush, but it is only the 3rd nuts. So instead of betting, we just check to see if anyone else wants to take the lead here, and probably are just going to check call. So it checks through, and the river is 5 of hearts. So at this point, I'm pretty confident that we've got the best hand. So when it checks to me, I bet 30. Player in late position just flats. Everybody else folds. I turn over the jacks, showing the flush, and the villain in the low jack, he flashes, I think it was the 8 of hearts and mucks. So we're able to take this one down, even though we had the moron brothers. All right, so in this next hand, we look down at ace 5 of diamonds from the small blind. There's 2 limpers, and then the button raises to 25. We call, thinking that at least the 2 limpers are going to call behind us, but surprise, surprise, everybody folds. So we go to a flop. Flop's decent one. Queen of diamonds, 5 of spades, 7 of clubs. So we flop bottom pair with a backdoor draw. So we check to the aggressor, and he bets 35. So we just call, and we go to a turn, which is the 10 of diamonds. So this gives us a lot more equity. We have a pair and a flush draw now, and we're drawing to the nuts. So we check again, and the villain checks behind us. So the river comes off the ace of clubs. Now we have top and bottom pair. At this point, I think there's a pretty good possibility we're good. Any hand like king jack, ace 10, ace queen, they all to bet the turn. So we feel pretty confident here. The only hands that we could really be against that we lose to are ace 7 or pocket 7s. So we bet out for 125 on the river, and he doesn't think about it for very long and mucks. For the last hand of the night, we pick up pocket aces on the button, no less. So there is a raise from under the gun +2 to 30. This is a reg that I play with quite a bit, and he's a decent player, so when it folds around to me, I 3-bet to 105, and folds back to him, and he just flats. So we go off to a flop of jack of hearts, 8 of diamonds, 4 of spades. So great flop for us. We don't really have to worry about too much. Jacks might be in his range, but if he flops a set, so be it. So he checks to us. We bet out 200, and he just flats. So we go to a turn, which is the 9 of clubs. So from there, he just open shoves into us for $410. So I think about it, and I'm like, well, if he has queen 10, all right, so be it. If he has pocket jack, so be it. Other than that, we don't have anything to worry about. So we don't think too long. We call. He tables pocket queens. River comes 3 diamonds, so that changes nothing. And we're able to scoop this big pot. And then we just rack it up for the night and head to the cage. All right, punks. So we were into this for just 1 bullet, so we're in for 1,000. We cashed out for 24.65, so we were 14.65 to the good. So remember, always like and subscribe. That way you're updated on new videos that come out. And next episode be a special one. We'll have our first interview for the vlog. We have an interview lined up with Doug Carrion, formerly of The Descendants and Dag Nasty, currently of Field Day. It is a great one, so don't miss it.